everybody, this is Bobby with bobbystamps.blogspot.com. I'm going to show you how I made this cute card. It's a really cute Christmas card. I used the greeting that is in the stamp set, and as you can see it doesn't quite fit. It cuts it off just a little bit, but I liked it because the shape of the opening, and as you can see when they open it up they can see, and you can kind of, it's obvious what the greeting says, so it didn't bother me that that was cut off. The only thing I changed up is this piece of white paper. I went ahead and used the layering squares in on the white piece of paper just to decorate it up just a little bit more too. So we are using the Seasonal Bells stamp set, and then we're going to use Delightful Dijon ink and Real Red ink, and then we're going to use a piece of Emerald Envy. And I already did a video showing you guys how to do the gatefold, so I'm not going to go through that again. So that's the base. And then like I just said, I used a piece of Real Red and used the layering squares to cut that out, and then used the next size square to cut out my piece of Whisper White. That's for our sentiment, or for the bells I mean. And then you're going to need a scrap piece of Real Red and a scrap piece of Delightful Dijon. That's what we're going to stamp our bells on. We're going to use a piece of the green ribbon that is in the holiday catalog. We have a piece of Whisper White. This is what's going to go on the inside, and the sentiment's going to be stamped on that. This piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have two pieces of Designer Series paper out of the Christmas pack, and these two are cut at 1 1/4 by 5. And then we have two pieces of Delightful Dijon cut at 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. So we'll just go ahead and get started. This card goes together super quick, and we'll just grab our bales out of the stamp set, and we're going to use, this one goes on the Delightful Dijon, and that one is on the Real Red. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab the sentiment while I'm in here and have it out and ready for us. Let me grab my block. So we'll just ink this up in Delightful Dijon, and you're just going to stamp Delightful Dijon on Delightful Dijon. Make sure you have that inked up, and then we're just going to stamp down, pull up, clean our block off, and we'll do the same thing with the Real Red. As soon as we take that bell off, we'll just ink that up in Real Red. Make sure you guys can still see me, and stamp that down and come up. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead, I should have just left that open, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to go ahead while I have that, the Real Red open, and what I did was I placed my piece of Whisper White where I thought I wanted it to be. So let's just make sure we have that evened up, and then close it. And then I took a pen or a pencil, and I kind of drew just a little tick mark like so. So that way I knew where that was going to open and close at. And then I knew exactly where I wanted to put my sentiment then, where I needed to stamp. So let me just get this on a block. Kind of look straight. And the trick is you want to get it over as far to that right side as you possibly can get it. So let me try not to get my head in there. And just pull up. Then you can just lightly, and it's easier to do this before you tape it down. And as you can see, I got a little bit in the ink, so just kind of let it dry for a little bit before you guys try to do that. But because we're doing a video, I don't have time to wait. And I did forget to mention too that we are going to use the bell punch, and this comes as a bundle. You can buy them separately or you can buy them as a bundle. It's better to buy them as a bundle, guys, because you save 10% when you do that. And as always, after you watch the video, if you want to buy any supplies, you can visit my blog. I always post my supply list on my blog. And then we'll just pop it out. And we'll do the same thing with the Delightful Dijon. I cut these pieces really small because we made these cards at my Cards and Coffee class a couple weeks ago. Just trying to make sure I have it pretty much centered where I want it. And you guys can shop 24/7 in my online store. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to send you a catalog and help you out. I post online classes, and I'm actually thinking about doing one with this stamp set. And I've already got two on my blog posted right now, and then I have one more already finished that I need to post. And then when I get done with this video, I have another one that I'm working on. So when I go to do this part, the front of the card, I like to open it up and have it like that. So you just got to kind of remember that this one down here is upside down. So we're just gonna take some snail and then just kind of put that piece right there in the center. And then we'll do the same thing here. And then grab your DSP and we'll center that up like so. And you got to remember when we're doing this bottom one, I'm just going to leave it like that so that way we know we're getting it on there right where we need it to be. It's a little bit easier once you get that first layer of Delightful Dijon on there to get everything straight. Okay, then we can take some snail and we'll adhere our white, Whisper White on our Real Red. And then we'll take 2 dimensionals. And you can't forget, guys, you can only put 3. I'm only going to put 2. And you only want them up there at the top because that's how your card is going to close, like that, okay? But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and put the inside of my card in there so that way I know where my sentiment is going to be. So we'll just take these off. Okay, so we have that done, and now we'll just peel these dimensionals off the back, the paper, and then I kind of put one bell at that angle. And then we'll put the other one right there at that. Take our ribbon and we're going to tie a bow. And then let me grab my snips. Let's see what that's going to look like. This one doesn't really have much of a tail on it, but okay, that works for me. So you can use a glue dot. I'm just going to put a snippet of snail right there, just because that's what I have out. And then you can just lay it there, and there you go. Cute Christmas card, and it's super quick because you guys seen it went together really quick. So like I said, if you want the dimensions and the supply list, make sure that you visit my blog. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com. Thanks, guys.